Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the train station in Bog Walk. This is Bog Walk, St. Catherine. Now, Jamaica had one of the first railway networks in the Caribbean, one of the first in the world. Now, the train started running in Jamaica in probably in the 1800s. Let's say 1824, 200 years ago. And look at the trains started running, let's say, and they stopped in 1992. The passenger train service stopped in Jamaica in 1992. Now look at this railway station. This is the Bog Walk railway station, built in the 1800s. And guess what? This station has not been improved on in over 200 years. I mean, I just find it a bit surprising that the railway service was not upgraded over time. This is the exact same station that was built in the 1800s. I don't know the exact date, right? And I mean, one of the reasons why the train service stopped in Jamaica is because of... Okay, let me read this. Public passenger service ceased operating in Jamaica in October 1992. It was basically an economic decision because passengers really cannot pay for the wear and tear of the railway and the maintenance of both locomotives and the tracks and the infrastructure in general. But if you have a train service and you have not even improved on the train, the station in 200 years, I mean, I just find it a bit surprising. And it's not just this train station, the one in Bog Walk, the one in Old Harbour, which is still being used today, is the exact same structure that was built over 200 years ago. At no time did they say, okay, let's improve these train stations. They are actually now heritage sites because they're so old. But if Jamaica needs the trains to run again, Jamaica is growing. You have places like Negril becoming a city, the amount of developments going on down there. You have Montego Bay, the entire north coast from Trelawney back to Ocho Rios is going to be a metropolis one day. Look at Drax Hall, the fastest growing place in Jamaica. Ocho Rios should be a city very soon. You have to be able to get people from Kingston to these places in the shortest possible time. And the only way to do that is through the trains. Now the trains tracks are there. Maybe some are damaged, but they are there. The land belongs to the Jamaica Railway Corporation. So you don't have to be doing alignments and buying land and laying tracks. Just some minor repairs. But you can't have the same mindset of building a train station in the 1800s. And in 1992, it's the exact same train station. We need modern train stations. Yes, there are heritage sites. We're not knocking history, but some of them need to be torn down and rebuilt as modern facilities where you have restaurants in them, where you have bars in them, like an airport. And you'll be surprised. You will be surprised at how many people use the train. Maybe you can build the new stations beside the old ones if you want to preserve the history. But one of the reasons why things got so bad with the train service, why it had to stop, is because it was not maintained properly. If you build a train station in the 1800s, and in 1992 it's the exact same train station. Then clearly no upgrades were made to it over the years. I just thought it very strange that it's the same train stations that we have that were built back in the day. They weren't upgraded, they weren't maintained. So Jamaica needs the trains, without a doubt. And we have major investors in Jamaica like the Chinese, the EU. I'm very surprised that we don't have a train service up and running yet. No, even if the government was to subsidize the service, that's not a problem because Jamaica is progressing. Jamaica is moving forward. Kingston has the largest population in Jamaica. And when you take into account Spanish Town and Clarendon, Spanish Town and Portmore, which are just on the outskirts of Kingston, you have probably 2/3 of the Jamaican population right there. You have to be able to get people from Kingston, Portmore, and Spanish Town to Negril, to Montego Bay, to Ocho Rios, to Trelawney. Now, I don't know how long the train would take. I'm assuming it would take probably an hour from Kingston to Montego Bay. So you could live in Kingston and work in Montego Bay. Now, if they're able to do that, Jamaica will grow even faster. Because with the amount of developments that are going on in Jamaica, especially on the north coast back to Negril, you definitely need the trains to get people there. Without a doubt, there's no other way. To drive from Kingston to Montego Bay is probably, call it 2 hours now. To go to Negril is probably 4 hours. Or maybe 3.5 because the new highway just opened. But if you can get on a train and relax and do work basically when you're on the train and get to Negril or get to Montego Bay in less than an hour, people will do it. Now there's a bus service between Kingston and Montego Bay. It does very well, although that's like from airport to airport. It does very well. It's a very profitable company because people use it. So if you have the trains running, people will use it. And even if it runs at a loss, but it doesn't make sense. Don't get me wrong. The government subsidizes for a few years until it gets up and running because it makes no sense you restart a train service with these train stations. It makes no sense. You have to build new ones. All right, guys, leave your comments in the section below. Have a good day.